The digital nomad dream? It's not just fading, it's collapsing. You were promised freedom. Laptops on beaches, coffee shops in Lisbon, Zoom calls from Bali. Now, it's office badges, time zones, tax problems, and companies pulling you right back in. But what if there's still a way out? In 2021, remote work wasn't just a trend. It felt like a revolution. People quit their jobs, booked one-way tickets, and started living like they were finally in control. But now, in 2025, most of those people are back in apartments they don't love, working jobs they didn't want, and wondering, was that dream ever real? Remote work exploded because of the pandemic. Suddenly, you didn't need permission to leave the office. The office didn't even exist anymore. People thought, wait, I can work from anywhere? And that kicked off the biggest migration of work life in modern history. But here's the thing, no one wanted to admit at the time. Remote work was never freedom. It was just a different kind of leash. And now that leash is getting pulled tighter, hard. Here's where things started to break down. First, taxes. When people worked from home, companies didn't care where home was. But when home became a rooftop in Mexico City or a jungle Airbnb in Thailand, that's where it got messy. Most companies aren't legally allowed to have employees working from countries they're not registered in. It's not just a paperwork problem. It's a legal nightmare. And if you think they're going to risk fines, penalties, and compliance issues just so you can sip coconuts in Costa Rica, think again. Second, productivity. Everyone thought remote work would make people more productive. And at first, it did. No commute, no office distractions. Total control. But over time, managers started noticing things. People weren't always online when they were supposed to be. Deadlines were slipping. Zoom cameras stayed off. Collaboration dropped. Quiet quitting wasn't just a TikTok trend. It was happening silently in Slack messages across every time zone. So now, companies are calling people back. First, it was 1 day a week. Then 2. Now it's 3 or more. Hybrid work is just the office with a PR team. You can't be a digital nomad when your boss needs you in a building by 9 a.m. Third, burnout. You'd think living in paradise would make everything better. But being a digital nomad isn't cheap or easy. You're always looking for new Airbnbs, dealing with visas, searching for decent Wi-Fi, working weird hours to match your clients' time zones. And when you get sick in a foreign country, good luck. Turns out freedom without stability isn't that free. Let me tell you about William Fisher. In 2024, William was living what looked like the perfect remote life. Traveling through South America, running a small online team, living off client work and a little crypto. He thought he had escaped the 9-to-5 forever. Then a US-based fintech startup approached him. Big salary, equity, job security, but it came with one condition. He had to move back to the States and work in person 2 days a week. He took the deal. He gave up the dream for structure, and he's not alone. Thousands of people have gone back. And not just because they had to, because deep down, they missed feeling grounded. They missed real connection, real growth. And yeah, a little predictability. They realized that the nomad life was more unstable than they thought. Here's what's happening under the surface. People are no longer chasing the live anywhere lifestyle. They're chasing something deeper. Control. Purpose. A real path forward. And companies? They're doubling down on compliance. That means you can work remotely, but only from countries where they're registered. You can travel, but only on approved work trips. You can live abroad, but only if your taxes are handled perfectly, your hours match HQ, and you never cause issues. In other words, remote work has rules now. And as soon as you introduce rules, you kill freedom. Even countries are tightening up. Some are cracking down on people working on tourist visas. Others require full background checks, minimum income, health insurance, and application fees to approve digital nomad visas. What used to be free now comes with paperwork, deadlines, and headaches. The Wild West is over. And this is where most people get stuck. They wanted freedom, so they quit their job, started freelancing, or found a remote gig. But now that remote work is under pressure, their lifestyle starts to fall apart. They don't have savings, no health insurance, no backup plan. And even if they want to go back to normal, it's not that simple. They've been out of the loop, out of the market, and starting over is exhausting. But here's the truth. The remote dream didn't fail because people were lazy. It failed because people didn't build systems. They built lifestyles, not businesses. They relied on gigs and short-term contracts instead of assets and leverage. So now that the economy's shifting, they're scrambling. And the people who win next won't be the ones with the best Instagram feeds. It'll be the ones with real mobile businesses that scale without borders. So, yeah, the digital nomad dream in its old form is dying. But if you still want freedom, if you still want to travel, live on your terms, and actually earn while doing it, then the way has changed. The model just needs to be smarter. And that's where InCruises comes in. Because this isn't some travel blog side hustle or affiliate funnel. It's a real business you can build anywhere. That actually pays. Let's break down how it works. InCruises is a global membership-based travel club, but it's also a business opportunity for people who want freedom without starting from scratch. Here's the core idea. 1. The membership side. You pay a monthly membership fee. But here's the kicker. Every dollar you spend gets doubled into cruise dollars. So if you pay $100 a month, you get $200 in cruise credits. You can use those credits to book actual cruises and hotels with real discounts, not just some coupon site fluff. You're not just throwing money into a vacation fund, you're turning it into real travel for less. 2. The partner side. Now here's where it gets interesting. As a partner, you can build a business by referring new members and new partners. This isn't multi-level spam. It's performance-based. You help people travel cheaper. You earn commissions. You grow a team. You build residual income. And you can do it all online, from your laptop, without needing to cold message your aunt or pitch to your friends. It's global, it's mobile, and it's one of the few models that actually supports the remote lifestyle. Because let's be honest, travel influencers burn out, freelancers feast or famine. But a system where people win by helping others save on something they already want, travel, is rare. And that's why InCruises is still under the radar, but growing fast. Let's talk real numbers. Some InCruises partners earn a few $100s a month, just enough to offset their own travel. Others build full-time income. A few? They hit ranks where the company pays for their own vacations and gives monthly leadership bonuses. And here's what they all have in common. They don't need a fancy degree. They don't live in one country. They're not glued to an office. Some are single parents, some are teachers, some are ex-digital nomads who wanted freedom and income. The model works if you work it. It's not a lottery, it's not magic. It's a structured system that rewards consistency, sharing, and growth. And unlike remote jobs, which can disappear overnight, this is something you own. No boss, no return to office emails, no location checks. You grow it, you keep it. Now let's be real. You might be thinking, is this just another travel MLM? Fair question. But here's the difference. InCruises doesn't pay you to recruit. It pays you to build members who stay. If your people don't book travel and find value, you don't get paid. That means the business only works if people actually benefit. So yeah, it's performance-based, And that's exactly why it's sustainable. If you want get rich quick, this ain't it. But if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, hopping gigs, or hoping your boss doesn't change the rules again, this might be your shot. The old version of remote work is gone. The wild, borderless, rule-free lifestyle, it's over. But freedom, that's still possible, just in a different form. It's not about escaping work. It's about building the kind of work you don't need to escape from. With in-cruises, you can do that. You travel smarter, you earn while helping others, and you finally build something that doesn't vanish the moment your boss changes their policy. This time, you're in control. Watch the next video. It's where everything starts.